What's going on YouTube? Ronin Frog 87 here, guys. And today I'm going to talk about what every other YouTuber is already talking about and has already talked about ad nauseum. And that's the fact that Konami is finally going to give us a new ban list. Yes, after 8 months and 2 OCG ban lists, Konami is finally giving the TCG a full-fledged ban list that takes effect on March 31st, which by no coincidence is also the day that the Duelist Saga comes out. And remember, guys, I believe that's the name of the set. And that's the set with all of the cards that were previously banned with new erratas like Rescue Cat and Brain Control. So without further ado, let's get into the list. And one more thing, before getting into the full-fledged list, this list is both surprising and not surprising at the same time. And as we go along the list, I'll explain why. So first off, for banned, we have Magic Spectre Unicorn Kieran, and that was to be expected. Everybody hated that freaking card. That card really had no business being unbanned anymore, and it was just so damn annoying, and it's just a pain in the ass to deal with. So it's gone, and I'm glad it's gone. The Tyrant Neptune, this is Konami finally being proactive. I know in the OCG they banned it on their list last week, and they're really the ones who are like the proactive ban lists. But the TCG follows suit and being proactive, and they did this preemptive hit because there's like this and some other card that's coming out in the future. There's like some really crazy OTK. And so the last card that was banned on this ban list is Vanity's Emptiness, and good riddance to that freaking card. I mean, good riddance to that card because, man, I know some people will argue that it was like a great floodgate because it kept special summons in check. But what would happen is your opponent would like set up like this big unbreakable board. And then on your standby phase, they would activate Vanity's Emptiness, and if you didn't have an out to it, that was it. Game over. No more Yu-Gi-Oh for you. So I'm glad that it's finally gone. But at the same time, I kind of respect the card, not because of the card itself, but because of its long journey. It's kind of weird because I remember this card came out all the way back in Shard Strike Blast, I believe, and no one played it. No one paid attention to it. It was at 3, and I remember it used to be like in like 10-cent boxes at these local card shops. You can find these in like those 10-cent boxes and stuff. And then people, like a few years later, people started to actually catch on to this card that is a really good card. And then it was like a common when it was still a common card before like the super reprints came out. It was like a $50 common card when it was at 3. That was insane. And then finally, it went to 1, and now it's banned. So that card has had just the strangest journey to the ban list, but finally, good riddance to it. And so that was it for the ban cards. And now for the limited cards, we have Maxx, and this is probably the most interesting hit on the list because I believe it's still at 3 in the OCG. And now Maxx, does it become a staple now? Does it become really super inconsistent? I remember people were saying that at 2, obviously it wasn't going to be as consistent as 3. So now that it's at 1, do you still play it on the off chance that you draw it just in case your opponent tries to spam you? And yes, I know Link Summoning is coming out, and I've praised Link Summoning because at first it looked like it was going to slow down the game, but then, Magic Capital G released that video with Jeff Jones just already breaking the mechanic, because he's Jeff freaking Jones. And, he came out with, triple Firewall Dragon. And you can argue if that's going to be consistent or not, and whether or not you're going to have to devote your entire extra deck to do that. But, we'll see. We'll see how this goes. So maybe Maxx at 1 isn't the best way to go, Konami. But, only time will tell. At least you can get cheap Maxx's now. The gold rare and the super rare, to say. Because I believe the ultimate rare is still gonna retain a lot of its value because of how rare those cards are. And then next we have Rescue Cat, but the errata version. I believe the errata version is like a hard once per turn, and I forget the rest of the effect, but they did neuter it. It's still a good card though, I think, and I still think it's worthy of being at 1. And then Bryonic, I believe another hard once per turn, not as broken as it used to be, but still a pretty great card. Welcome back, Bryonic, I guess, but, even though you are in your neutered form, so. And then the one that makes me really sad, guys, is Brain Control. It wasn't really neutered like Sinister's Serpent neutered. I believe now you still have to pay the 800, and you can take control of one of your opponent's face-up monsters that can be normal summon or set, so. They neutered it a bit, but I don't know. You guys know me. I really don't like it when Konami, neuters cards. Much rather that they create, watered down versions of the cards instead of just neutering the cards. You're messing with your history here, Konami. And then Future Fusion, that one card that was really freaking neutered, and for good reason. Imperial Order, I don't know. Even though it has an extra stipulation, I still think this card is incredibly broken, even in its neutered form. And I still have my secret rare Pharaoh's Servant version. Um, and with this, and anti-spell fragrance at 3, jeez. I don't know about that one, Konami. Alright, guys, so that does it for the limits. And so, yeah, so like Rescue Cab, Bionic, Break Control, Feature Fusion, Imperial Order, those are all going to be reprinted in the Duelist Saga. So, let's see, something limited. Wisdom, My Magician, I couldn't care less. Zodiac Rapier. This was another interesting hit because Konami, they just banhammered the crap out of Zodiac in the OCG. But here, the only thing that they hit was Zodiac Rapier, and only the 2. And I've seen a lot of arguments saying that this is going to really hurt, pure Zodiac's consistency. But I don't know. To me, it seems like more of a slap on the wrist. And some of the people are saying that this is really going to hurt their consistency. Is that they're going to, go Emerald and maybe something else, but they're not going to be able to spam as much. But I don't know. We've seen decks been neutered before, much harder, and still come back. Look at Dragon Rulers. Look how many battles it took to finally kill those guys. So we'll see. Time will only tell. And then Interrupted Kaiju Slumber. I'm kind of iffy on this because on the one hand, I think kaijus are one of the best things to happen to this game. And I'll probably make a separate video explaining why. But then Interrupted Kaiju Slumber is a really good card. I don't want to say it's broken because I don't think it's broken, but it's a really great card. It's like a Swiss Army knife. It's a dark hole. You get a kaiju monster and you give your opponent a kaiju monster, but you always grab the bigger one so you can kill their kaiju monster. And you end up with like a 3,000 beat stick, and then on the turn that it was not sent to the graveyard, you can banish it and add a kaiju monster from your deck to your hand. So it's a really good card, but I don't know. We'll see. Let's see here, and then Unlimited. The only thing to get Unlimited was the errata version of Sangan, and that one also makes me sad because I think they really did hurt Sangan, the errata wise, because I believe it's only a hard once per turn now. And you can only do it during the end phase if I'm not mistaken. So, alright guys, so those are my thoughts on the March 2017 TCG ban list, and it finally feels good to say that. Alright guys, as always, I'm Ronin Frog 87. I bid you farewell, and I hope to see you guys on the next video.